You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, cool.
Cool.
All right, so, ¿qué onda, raza? Welcome back. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode here on ETCÉTERA. We have a very special guest. I'm actually a huge fan of this guest that we have today. She is one of the biggest, most well-known drags here in Dallas, or in Texas, probably even, right?
Dallas. Let's do Dallas.
All right, we'll stick to Dallas.
Let me humble myself.
Okay,
yeah.
all right, that's good. Yeah. No, yeah. So she's very well known. I've seen your shows quite a few times. I'm a huge fan. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruby. Ruby, how are you?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm nervous. You're making me a little nervous. I'm like,
why are you getting nervous?
I don't know. You're my second guest now, so it's like I'm kind of nervous. You know, I don't want to ruin your first podcast. You did say it's your first podcast, right?
Yes, it's my first. And when I walked in here, I told you I was nervous.
Okay, yeah. So that's two of us.
That's two of us.
Hopefully, like the drinks will help. You know, with the nerves. So yes, guys, if you're listening, you're watching this, sip on something, find something to drink, join us. It's Tuesday right now. But,
it is Tuesday.
We're not gonna get too trashed, I think.
You think?
I don't think so. Normally we don't.
I mean, good thing I don't have anything planned after this.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, salud. Welcome.
Cheers. Salud. Refreshing.
Yeah. Are you always been a tequila?
Yes, I've been drinking tequila. I mean, I'm Mexican, so
right.
You know, like Mexicans drink tequila like water. And plus, my mom used to own a bar, so she would have bottles and bottles of tequila. So I would just sneak in and grab tequila all the time since I was young. But
it's always your go-to.
It's always my go-to. I like tequila sunrises. It's like the number one thing I get usually because it gets me drunk faster. So I don't like really fruity drinks. So.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah.
I like to get the job done.
Right. I think, I've always I hate being that person that's like, you know, I just want to drink for like, just to like chill and hang out. No, if I'm a drink, like I want to get buzzed, you know, like I think that's the purpose of drinking alcohol. You know, you want to like kind of like put yourself in a vulnerable position where it's like anything's going to happen.
Right. I agree. It's
just like, you know, like let's just see what happens. Right?
Let's just see what happens. Have fun with it. And also just feel like it unwinds you and like loosens up like the muscles because sometimes you're like so tense because you're like, oh shit, is it gonna be a good night? Is it gonna be a bad night? So fuck it, let's just drink.
Let's find out.
Let's find out and see what it leads to. It might lead to a night in jail or a night of unforgettable memories.
Have you ever been to jail?
I've never been to jail, but I always joke about going to jail because like I freak out a lot. Like I have anxiety, so if I were ever to end up in jail, I put myself into this mentality that, oh, I know what to do, I know what it's going to be like, but in reality I've never been to jail. I've had friends that've been to jail, but I've never been to jail.
So you'd be like the worst person to like commit a crime with?
Well, I don't know, it depends what kind of crime it is. If we steal something, I could probably help you out here. You know? I could be the decoy, probably keep the secret.
Like, just like throw her in there.
Just throw me in there.
Like just go seduce the cops.
Seduce the cops
while we break in.
Or I could just fake a heart attack.
Okay.
Or something.
All right.
Right.
Were you ever in theater?
I was in theater. I was in theater in high school, so like acting comes naturally. So I can probably fake a good old heart attack. I've never had one, so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got the.
All right. Noted. We're committing a crime after this.
Okay, perfect.
JK, no, we're not.
I'll be the decoy. Remember that.
Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. Diamond.
Yes.
Do you go by Ruby or Diamond or Ruby Diamond?
I go by Ruby. I have other nicknames, but I'm not gonna tell you guys those nicknames because they're not really fun to me.
We'll get them.
My daughters are like the ones that give me like the funniest.
How many daughters do you have?
I have 4 now. No, 3. Yeah, 3.
So. For those that don't know, so it's like from my understanding, those are like the ones you're kind of teaching. You're showing the ropes, right?
Showing the ropes, mentoring, and on top of that, we have like we're roommates as well. All my daughters live with me, so we're all like very close friends, and we look out for each other. So it's not just like all about drag 24/7. It's also something special underneath it.
Are they do drag as well?
Yes, they all do drag. 2 of them are a couple, so that's even more interesting.
I did not know that couples would do. Oh, okay.
Well, like one of them started doing drag first, and then the other one was like, "Hey, I kind of want to do it," and I was like,
she saw the money. It's like
she saw the money, but it's like not even when I wanted to do and got into drag, I didn't think of it because of the money.
Right.
It was just because like, oh, it looks like fun to be like someone else and like, you know, just get lost in your own world and express yourself. So
Yeah.
the money was like second. But
Right.
everyone loves money.
That's cool. All right. I think that's a good little intro. Actually, hang on. How long? I've known you for a while.
Yes.
I think the first time I saw your show, it was here at the Trove. So this is like your I guess one of your homes.
My homes, yeah. This is one of my homes, yeah.
How many do you have that you actually perform at?
I have two.
Two. This
Yes.
one, the Trove, and
Havana on Cedar Springs.
oh, okay. All right. Oh, awesome. Okay, so I did my notes. I was like, all right, I think this is correct.
Yeah, but this is
But
my big home.
This is your big one, right?
My
This
big home.
is like your main.
I'm like a
First house.
resident. My
First house.
residency, yeah. My
Right.
first house here.
Okay, cool. Yeah. When I first met you, it was during one of your shows. I remember. I don't remember the exact date. It was in March. You probably don't even remember this.
I do remember you were drunk.
Very.
I remember
I was
you were
hammered,
very drunk, and
fucking plastered.
I think that was my fault too.
Yeah. No, it was really bad because it was. I got here late. Like my
Yeah, you got here for
friends-
like the second half. I remember.
Yeah, I think not even like it's like really like towards the end, and I remember my friends were already here. Also, whenever you need a refill, just call Israel and he'll do it.
Okay.
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, I remember I got here and it was probably like maybe like 9 or 10. It was back in March. I had been drinking all day and my friends were here. They were like, yeah, just come through. I get here. I'm fucking like, I'm far gone. I don't even know how I made it. Don't drink and drive. But I don't know how I made it. Like it was a miracle. And I took like 2 more shots with like friends here.
Mm-hmm.
I sit down on this couch, right? And I zone out. For like maybe like a good 30 seconds. I'm like thinking like I sped to get here. Like this is like, oh my God.
You're
Like,
thinking of your sins.
yeah. And I'm like, oh shit. But then I just start hearing Chewy, or Jesse, right? Because that's what they call me. And then I was like, oh, right here. And it was you. You were like, who's Chewy or where's Chewy?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's me. And then I get up and then I see there's these 2 beautiful girls. And I'm like, it's like a game. It's a game. I was like, yeah, I'll play a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, how bad can this be, right? It wasn't just a normal. I thought
Was it the musical shots game?
I thought it was something like that, right? That's what I was
Yeah.
expecting. I was like, yeah, I
Uh-huh.
got this. I'm drunk, but I can do musical chairs.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was like a dance off.
I did do a dance off. I remember now.
It was a dance
I
off.
remember.
It was a dance off, and I was so embarrassed because I don't dance, right?
Right.
And these girls were like beautiful, man. They were gorgeous. This isn't racist, it's not a stereotype, but they were black, and black people know how to dance a lot better than Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone these 2 black chicks, right? And they're really, really pretty, but they made a nice like scene scenario, and I was just like, how am I gonna go against that? Like, there's no way.
You were just like,
yeah. So and then like Ruby,
like frozen.
Ruby
just
comes up to me, and everyone's laughing at me. Like there's videos out there, but I'm like all nervous, and Ruby comes up to me, and she's like, hey, you're gonna have to take your shirt off, all right? Just don't think about it. Just take off your shirt. And I was like, I'm not ready. Like I'm not summer shredded ready. Like I can't do it. Yeah, I did a really horrible job.
I don't think so.
It was a really horrible job.
You did a good job.
I did win though. I did win.
You did win.
I did win.
You did win.
I did win. I mean, shout out to Lauren. I did, but she was there.
Shout out to Lauren.
But yeah, no, it was that's kind of how we met, and I stayed for the rest of the night, and we were talking. Yeah, and I didn't know like this was gonna be like a regular thing here at the Trove.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations,
Thank you.
But yeah, just kind of want to throw that out there, break the ice a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of feeling the mezcal now. My cheeks are getting a little warm.
Yeah, I'm like kind of like.
Yeah, right. Okay,
hot
no,
in
it's
here.
good. It's good. All right. So the whole point of like this series of episodes, as I explained to you, we're just trying to show the world, or even like to the listeners, what the people of Dallas, what we do here, right? And people that are passionate and like creative, and they live for their dreams, right?
Mhm.
And you were one of the ones that I've been wanting to. I've been trying to get you to come on, for a while, but for different reasons, it just really never really happened. because the issues of the podcast. But I'm really excited to have you. You're one of you're the one of the ones that I really, really wanted to talk to because I have so many questions. So we just want to talk about you.
Okay.
This interview is all about you. To know a little bit about the backstory, and also what you do now, and what's the future looking like? What are the goals, right? But we'll start off slowly. We'll kind of joke around, and some stuff might get a little serious or personal, but I mean, it's cool, right?
It's okay.
It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good. It's on social media and whatever. Everyone's gonna find out.
Everyone's gonna find out.
No
oh
pressure.
My God.
No pressure.
No pressure. Right.
It's all good. But let's start with you say you were from Mexico. Were you raised here your whole life, or
so my parents are both from Mexico,
what
Guadalajara. So yes, I was born in California. I lived there up until I was 7 years old, and then I moved to Dallas, Texas, and I basically grew up in Texas. Yeah.
At 7, you moved to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. All right, that's not bad.
Yeah. I love California. I've been to Mexico a couple times, but Texas is my home. I never dream about traveling, but I never dream about leaving Texas. I could never leave Texas.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Everyone's like, oh, but do you like California better? I'm like, yeah, it's beautiful. They have beach and da-da-da, but I'm like a Texas girl. I have to go back to Texas. I love being in Dallas and being around country people and stuff. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. So wait, but you've only been to Mexico a couple of times.
Yes, I've only been to Mexico 4
and it's
times.
Guadalajara.
Ixtapa, Mexico, DF,
Mm-hmm.
but that's it.
Do you speak Spanish fluently?
Sí, hablo español.
Oh, okay. Oh, qué chido.
Yeah.
Oh.
Can we turn on a fan in here? It's really hot for me.
We actually cannot right now.
What?
If we turn it on, it's gonna
it's gonna feel.
It's gonna capture this.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, I'm gonna drink out of my.
Yeah. No. Keep. Drink some Sprite.
No. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. No.
What was the
cool.
question?
No. So yeah. So you've only been there a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And you do speak Spanish. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up for you, here in Texas then?
Growing up here in Texas I can give you the typical stereotypical story of oh, everyone bullied me, because I feel like everyone got bullied in school.
I did too. Yeah, you're good.
You got bullied?
I got bullied. Yeah.
But yeah. Bullied for being different. Obviously I was so flamboyant and stuff. So
oh really?
Yeah. I remember being in elementary school and they were oh, why do you talk like a girl? Why do you act like a girl? Why do you only hang out with girls? And I was just
fuck you.
Literally. Yeah. And I've also grew up to be a rebel because of the way I was treated. I was always the type of person that was oh, you guys are gonna bully me, so I would come up with some crazy idea that would make everyone interested into what I'm doing, because I'm an attention whore.
Right. Nothing wrong with that. Not a damn thing wrong with that.
Believe it or not, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. So in elementary school, there was this one hoop slide that was not used by anybody because everyone wanted swings, or they just want to run around and play tag or whatever. So it was never really used. And so me and my girls were let's go down the slide and make it the funnest thing ever. And we're going to invent this game. And I called it the squishy slide.
Oh, God. I'm in the woods right now.
The squishy slide.
You're taking me down.
So
I'm in the forest right now.
I was okay, girl, you're going to sit at the bottom of this slide. And I'm just going to slide in it. And you're going to block the way. And then we're going to have people just come in and squishing each other in this slide, in this 2B slide. And people started what's going on? What is this? What are you guys doing? What are you guys playing? And everyone's just screaming in this slide and tube. And then eventually I started charging kids 25 cents to ride this squishy slide and selling tickets at lunch. And I got in trouble for it. So
did you have to pay back?
No, I did keep the coins,
That's right.
But I did get an ass whooping from my mother.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were a hustler.
I was a hustler, and then in high school I sold paletas de chile.
Did you really? Oh, you were one of those kids?
I was one of those kids. You gotta make a living someday.
I remember those kids in high school that they had a backpack and 3 different bags of candy.
3 bags of candy, hot Cheetos.
Yeah, like all in their
everything you can
backpack,
get your
and then
hands on.
like that was a good gig back in the day.
Yeah,
I wonder if people still do that today.
I'm pretty sure.
Probably, right?
Because like even in apartment complexes, I would have like, oh, my mom would sell like the hot Cheetos. You just gotta knock on her door and say, hey, doña, yo quiero, and you're just like getting your things through the window while she's in her living room or a room. It was just interesting. I don't know.
Oh, cool. What all right? So tell me about like your family. Do you have siblings?
I do. I have a sister and a younger brother. They're both younger than me. I'm the eldest.
How young are we talking?
My sister is 24 now, I believe. My brother's about to be 16.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
How old do I look? Tell me.
I would say you're close to my age.
Which is? Like, I don't even know.
I'm 28.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Are you 28?
No.
27?
No.
29?
No.
30?
No.
26?
Yes.
Oh.
He's just like 34, 40.
I was like, how is this close? It's like, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're not okay.
No, I'm just.
Estás tiernita todavía.
Yeah, still young.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you grew up in here in Texas with siblings, and what about your parents now? Well,
so my biological father passed away before my mom had me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I never really got to meet him. It's okay. It'd be cool if I got to know him and like grow up with him and see. I always like question nowadays, like in the present time, like how would have my father react to like what I do now.
Right.
And it's just so interesting, but I never got to meet him. But I grew up with my mother and my sister at the time. I never knew I was gonna have a little brother. He just kind of like came on later on, and we were just like, me and my sister were like, I guess now we have a brother, and he's half Korean because she married a Korean. So.
Oh, okay, nice.
A little mix in there.
Yeah. That's creative.
Yeah, that's creative.
That's creative. It's like we'll have him on now.
Yeah.
Next. That's fun.
He's actually really mature and smart for his age. I'm like really close to my brother versus my sister. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Damn. You actually kind of beat me to a question I was going to ask you later.
Oh, really? What was it?
I was going to ask you. Wait, hang on. Wait.
Okay.
No, you know what? I'll tell you right now. I was going to ask, like, because I'm a very nosy person. Well, not too nosy, but you know.
Who isn't nowadays, right?
Right. No, yeah, but I did want to ask you, like, because you know, I did pick up like kind of like the vibes that you have either, I don't know if you were born in Mexico or like your parents were like they brought you up like very Mexican.
They did.
So I was gonna ask you, because you know, like I don't know about your family, but most Mexican families, like they're pretty strict, right?
Very.
They're pretty strict.
Some of them are too religious too. Like yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and it's it's the culture. You know, it's very strict. And I was gonna ask you, like, even about like, you know, your father. You know, like how was that like? You know, like coming out, but you know you didn't have that opportunity. But like, what about with your mom? Like, what was that experience like for you? Because I know everyone has like a crazy. Some of them have a much crazier than others of like coming out, right? But what was your experience like?
Oh my gosh!
Let's just first start with like coming out, like not even
the
like,
coming out story.
Yeah, just coming out. Yeah.
Okay, so, shit. It was my 18th birthday.
Okay.
I just turned 18, and I believe it was like a Friday night, and my best friends were like, "Hey, like." There's this like they were already out in school. They were lesbians, and they were like, "Hey, there's this club on Cedar Springs, Havana's. Like the bouncers are so stupid, and like we can all get in. Like they don't even know how to count like on the IDs. Like
do the math right.
And so, but you're already 18, so they'll just let you in. Let's go have fun." And I was like, my mom was very strict, so she was like, "You're not going anywhere past like 11 p.m." So I was just like, "Fuck, I won't be able to leave." And da. So she was like, "Let's all like have a sleepover." My mom used to, like I said, she owned a bar at the time, so she would leave and like go to work, and then she'll come back at a certain time for her lunch or something, and then like go back to work. And I was just like, okay, we'll have fun we'll have a couple drinks, and like we were able to get alcohol. We were just like talking about drinking MD-20s in the parking lot before we entered the club, and then like, you know, and then come back, and then we went and we got into the club, and then like 20 minutes later, I'm like having fun. I'm dancing. I get a text message from my mom saying, are you at Havana's? And I was like, what are you talking about? No, I'm at a friend's party, and the surprise party that they had for me. And she was like, that's funny because I see you here at the bar.
Oh.
And I was like, what bar? And she was like, at Havana's. I'm at Havana's. And what were there like chances that she literally was out with her gay friends at Havana's? Because my mom loved partying back then. She was still a party girl. So she would go out with her gay friends and go to Havana's, and I didn't know that was where she usually goes.
Right.
So I was fucked. And she was like, meet me in the car before I start a whole scene. And I was like, I'll meet you there.
Wow.
And I like came out to her
right there, like
well,
at the,
she
at the
was
parking,
like,
at the car.
are you gay? I'm like gonna ask this once. She was like yelling at me in the car, so luckily no one was like able to hear. And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, you caught me, so I'm not gonna lie anymore. And she was just like, she just like looked at me. It was like silence for like, I swear, like a good old 2 minutes, and then she just like slapped the shit out of me.
Wow.
Yeah, she was like,
Yeah.
I'm disappointed, and like started crying, and she was like, you're not gonna live here anymore, like, you're not my son, and da da da, which I thought was like so ironic because she's at a gay club like with gay friends.
Right.
So I was just like so hurt and confused by it. So by the way, I was still in high school, so like I didn't graduate yet. I was still going through my senior year, and I was homeless for like, I would say like a month or so.
Wow.
Yeah, and then my aunts, by the way, my family did not know where I was. Like my mom would just be like, oh, he's with some friends and stuff.
Right.
And during the cookouts, and they were all just like, well, we haven't seen him, like at the time. They're like, we haven't seen him. Where is he? And my sister was just like, my mom kicked him out, and da da da. Like my sister just couldn't hold it in anymore. So my aunts, like, apparently I was obviously like doing my thing. But like meanwhile, my sister was like, yeah, there was like a big old fight at home. My aunts just started like talking to mom, and like one of them slapped her and was just like, what's wrong with you? That's like your firstborn son. And like just educating her. And like another month later, so I was just like not in the house for 2 months at this point. Like I just remember like during the intercom, they were like saying my name. They're like, come to the principal's office. And you know, like at the time, ooh, everyone's like oohing and like, damn, what'd you do? And I was just like confused. I'm like, I don't fucking know. So I just like walked to the office, and she's like, my mom's there with my aunts, and she was just like, we want to talk to you, you're coming home. And I was just like furious at the time, so I was like, no. And so the principals and staff all knew about the whole thing. And they were just like, well, where are you staying? And I was just like, staying at a youth house up in like downtown area. There are so many bugs here.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, they're like, I was like, I'm staying at a youth house in downtown, and they were just like, oh, okay, well, you have to go with your parents because they're still your parents and they're your legal guardians, and you can't just be over there. So like they had it all sorted out. It was just this whole big thing. Came back home, and my mom was just like, I love you. I've done some reading. I've talked to your aunts, and like, I just want you to accept my apology and we can start over. And at the time I was just like, you know what? Fine. I accept your apology. We can move on from this, but I'm still mad at you for what you did. And she was just like, no, I like will work harder on trying to understand you and like see where you're coming from and what this is all about and da da da. And so I was just like, okay, cool. And then she just goes, just tell me you don't want to dress up as a woman. And at the time I wasn't doing it. Right. I knew about the world of drag and stuff, but I wasn't doing it. There was no interest in doing it at the time. So I was just like, oh, never. I was like,
come on,
Mom, are you serious? Right. Like, no. And then, yeah, there's another coming out story after that. And then another one after that. So, but she's my number one supporter now. Me and her are very, very close.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I have plenty of gay friends. I grew up around a lot of like gay people. My mom's best friends are like all like, not all, but like a lot of them are gay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was growing up.
You didn't know what gay was?
I didn't know what gay was. I was very ignorant, and puberty was horrible with me. Like it took me forever to go through it. So I wouldn't think that my head wasn't there. Like I was thinking about cartoons the whole time. Like, you know,
Right.
up to like 15, 16. Like it just wouldn't. It didn't cross my mind. But I remember my cousins that were my age. They were like telling me like, hey, like what's his name? You know he's gay, right? What's that? And then they're like
ooh, what is that?
Yeah.
How do you get
I'm
that?
I'm like 10 or 11, right? And I'm just like I don't know what that is.
That is hilarious.
So so I mean because I've always had it around me, and like my mom always she would always tell me like they're my uncles, and I was like, okay, cool, yeah, all right, yeah, like cause they would spend the night sometimes, and I'm just like, all right, cool. But I never. So that I think that's why like I've been like very like cool and like it's like so open like with about like all my gay friends, and like they'll even question like at first some of them would question me like, are you gay? And I'm like, nah, dude, like no, I'm just like. You guys are fun, man. Like I never really knew why. Like me llevo tan bien, or like I'm so like comfortable hanging out with them. But it's just like I actually grew up with that, and just like the kind of humor, especially like gay Mexicans, like their humor is different and it's hilarious.
It is very different. Trust me. I have after I came out, like I found out I had a cousin moving in from Mexico into my mom's house, and he's like in his mid 30s something. And he was just like, I want to come out too. I'm gay. And I was like, just do it. So you made me take the fall and do this, and like you're older than me, and like so it was so much easier for him, and I was like kind of mad at him for it, but his like sense of humor is like on a different level than mine, and like, so I'm sorry. Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so like coming out, like in general, like that's pretty intense.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, I can't I get scared. Like I said, going back to like the being brought up from Mexican parents, like it's scary. Like I grew up afraid of my parents.
Me too. So, my friends even were afraid of my mom.
Yeah, no, it's scary. I don't know what it's like with other cultures, but I just know and just speaking from like the majority from Mexican parents, it's scary. Like I get scared. Like if I broke something at the house, it's like. I know there's an ass whooping waiting for me. Like as soon as like my mom would like found out that I broke like a lamp, right, from playing inside the house. So like I can't imagine, you going through, or like people in your similar situation having to go through that, like to Mexican parents. Like it's intense. It's intense. It's scary. So I can't imagine. But so does your mom know about like now that that you do drag?
Yes, she knows I do drag. She, like I said, she's my
she's your
biggest supporter. It's different because I tell my friends all the time, like me and my mom used to not be close, like growing up, like at all. She wouldn't even want to look at me because she admitted it to me like that. She already knew when I was born that I was different. She knew at a very, very young age. So she's like, you would always like obviously want to play with the girls, and you wanted to wear the dresses, and you wanted to play with the Barbies and stuff. And I just knew, and I just treated you differently because I was in denial myself about it, and mad at myself and blaming myself for, you being who you are, basically. But to this day, she's just like, when I first came out to doing drag, she was just like, can I see a picture? And then I was like, yeah, sure. Because I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race, and she would always like catch me watching that. And I would like change the channel, but she would always like, what are you watching? You need to stop watching that show. And I was just like, no, it's just an art form. It's fun. And I explained it to her, and she was like, and I was like, well, I do drag. And she was like, can I see a picture? And I showed her the picture, and she was like, you're not very pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, she was just like, but she was laughing when she said it. It was like in a joking manner, and she wasn't wrong. At that time, I was like, didn't know what the fuck I was doing with makeup or anything like that. So it was just, yeah. But now she's just like my number one supporter. She knows about it. She knows about my show. She knows my schedule. She knows when I sleep, when I get up, everything.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, we're so much closer now because of drag, I think.
Wow, that's cool. Congrats. If I were to ask you, like, what advice would you give to like a teenager who's listening to this that might be going through something that went through a similar situation as you? Like, well, sure, like, let's say, let's start with a teenager.
With a teenager, I would say, hang on. I know it's so cliche to say that, but like, hang on. it's not always going to be like this like miserable, like, oh, you're getting bullied. I don't know if you like, you know, a lot of teenagers get bullied because of that nowadays, but during when I grew up, it was harder. So I would just say, hang on. It's going to be sunshines and rainbows sometimes, but sometimes you'll have those dark moments. Just hang on whenever you graduate, be yourself, but always be yourself. Never be ashamed of who you are. It is who you are. You can't change it. You are born that way. But yeah, I would just say you are loved and hang on.
Cool.
Yeah.
There you go. Take it. That's a good advice. Thanks. I mean, I'm pretty sure you inspire a lot of people too, because I mean, like, you are pretty well known here.
I get some people like some like, oh, you inspire, and I'm like, I'm the most craziest nuthead in the world. How am I inspiring you?
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, like my daughters are like, oh, you're so inspiring to me and stuff. I'm like, which means a lot. I mean, and I appreciate it, but I'm just like, you live with me. You see what I do. You see how I act. You see I laugh at like just, I could be by myself cooking and just start laughing out of nowhere because I just thought of something and they're like, what a fucking weirdo. But they find me inspiration, and it means a lot to me though. Yeah,
no, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's cool to like have that like that, I guess, pull on people, you know, like that they do look up to someone, and you know, and from what I know of you, like, yeah, I mean, you're a really cool person, you know, and that's why, you know, I wanted to have this conversation with you. Because I do feel like a lot of people could take advantage of just like listening into these wild stories from you, like, you know, just to kind of get your perspective. Because I mean, this is, I guess that situation is never really going to go away. Yeah. Right. Like maybe not in our lifetime. Who knows? I do believe that it's getting a little easier in the form of like there's more, like, it's more common. We're more knowledgeable. Like, as like parents are becoming a little bit more like accepting of it, right? Yeah. With the newer generations. So who knows what it's gonna be like, right? But I know from like even today, or like if you go to like other countries like Mexico or other like Central America, like where they're still, you know, pretty
very
strict,
close-minded,
very close. You know, they're still a little behind. So it's, you know, it can be a little scary. So it's good to hear this. By the way, they do listen to this in Mexico. And a few other Spanish countries. Yeah.
Cool. So, hola, ¿qué onda? Saludos a Guadalajara.
Saludos a los de Guadalajara.
Yeah.
But are you a religious person? You say your mom was religious.
My mom was religious. She's not a religious person anymore because, like I'm telling you, she's a completely different person.
Are you influenced by any like religion? Any religion? Or I respect religion, I really do, but I personally am not a religious person. Everyone thinks like most Mexicans think like, or teenagers nowadays, they're like, God is Mexican, and I'm like, he is.
Well, just because and they're like, yeah, look at my blanket, he's Mexican and stuff like that. And I'm like, right. Oh well, yeah. I hate to break it to you, but he wasn't Mexican. And they just think like Maria was like just this like Mexican woman, and she just, I don't know. I'm not really religious, but
no. What do you use for do you have some sort of like a
thing I like look up to, pray to? Yeah,
or not even necessarily pray to, but like something that kind of like makes you like a good person in general, like for you to make a good judgment call, like, oh, you know, maybe I shouldn't do this, or like, no, like I don't know. Do you believe like in karma, or like what's your thing?
Yes, I believe in karma. I believe in good and evil. Like, there's two sides to everything, so good and evil. And especially I do believe in karma because, like, I strive to be a good person, but not everyone's a good person. You know, like, there's always your flaws and stuff like that make you who you are. But I try to be as good as I can. Every now and then I dabble into being a bad girl because, I mean, we have to live on the dangerous side sometimes just to have fun. But overall, I feel like if you're not hurting anyone and you're not causing chaos and evil to other people, then you're a good person. You're fine. As long as you're not killing people and
right.
You know, abusing people and hurting animals and stuff like that. I feel like you're a good person. I mean, no one's perfect in this world. So.
Do you have a pet?
I do have a pet.
You seem like a
what? What kind of pet?
Are you like one of those weirdos that has like a snake?
Okay, so snake people are really cool.
I'm totally kidding. No, yeah.
So I look like I would have a snake.
No, would you?
That's cool.
Like an actual snake, not.
No, I don't have a snake.
Okay, are you a cat or you're a cat person?
Okay, so I'm a dog person, but I never had a cat. I've had a traumatic experience with a cat before. So I was at my. Oh, it like held to my face.
You were gonna go to your story.
I was gonna go into my story, but it's okay. I was at my like grandfather's house, and he had a cat. It was a black one, and he just like looked at me and then just latched on my face, and the claws are pretty deep into my face that wasn't letting go. So I literally was just like trying to pull. It kind of looked like a cartoon thing, like, you know, the like, but eventually I just they were like spraying water and just let go, and I just like
spraying the damn cat.
It was really funny and bleeding everywhere, and
oh god,
it was just kind of traumatic for me. So I've never, you know, messed around with a cat after that or gone up to a cat up until quarantine. During quarantine, I was very lonely because my roommates all like went back to their parents' house.
Right.
Because they were just like, no, we need to have you by our side at home and stuff like that. So this is the end. Like, it was like the end of times. So my mom was like, you work at the clubs. You're not coming home. You stay over there. Like, I mean, you know, we don't know if you have it or we don't know if we have it because we've been working too. So I was like, no, I understand. And I was living in Denton, Texas at the time, which there's nothing out in Denton. It's a cursed city.
Before, like, you started work, before, like, you being here at the Trove, you were in Denton.
I was in Denton, Texas. Yeah.
What? Shout out to the people in Denton.
Shout out to all the people and
all the hippies out there.
Hippies out there, all the college students that are just partying it up every single fucking day. Like, you couldn't really get a good night's sleep because someone's blasting music like next door or something. But yeah, I used to live in Denton, and then I was just like, I'm so lonely. I'm so depressed. I'm like tired of just, you know, talking to myself in social media. So I was just like, I'm going to make a quick trip to PetSmart and see what they have. So they're having a cat adoption center. And I was like,
for free?
Yeah. No, actually I had to pay like $50 or something. And there was just this one cat left, and her name was, first of all, her name was Dina. And I was like,
well, you fucked up already.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm kidding.
Well, the lady was like, oh yeah, this is our cat Dina. She's a little crazy and like she's wild. She like is such a troublemaker, but she's so sweet. Like, she's a cuddle bug and da-da-da-da. And I was just like, can we change the name? Because I don't like Dina. And she was like, oh well, she's a year old. I'm sure she'll like catch on to a new name. So I looked at her and I was like, okay, well, she's cute. And we kind of like bonded because she just like crawled up into my lap and just let me pet her. And now I have a 2-year-old cat named Pearl.
Pearl.
Because I'm RubyDiamond. She's my Pearl.
Aww.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Pearl, like from SpongeBob, the whale. Wait,
no. No. And also like, okay, so like I'm also like into anime and like animation.
I don't believe you. Keep going.
I'm a nerd. Yeah, I'm really a nerd.
Keep talking.
So Steven Universe.
Oh.
So I was just like, you know, the diamonds and the gems, and the pearls. So yeah, she's my little Pearl. But I would love to have a dog. I would love to have a big dog.
A big dog.
A big dog.
I can't stand the shedding of animals.
The shedding?
They're cute. They're adorable. I can't.
So I'm guessing you don't have any pets.
No, I don't. No.
You don't? You don't just want like a furry companion to just love you and they're always going to be there whenever you come home? You don't want that?
No, I kind of don't. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to take your cat, all right? I can't. Yeah, well, I'm not adopting your cat.
I'm not going to give you my cat. Es bien vaga.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Like, I open she loves going on my patio.
She's ready to go.
But she hears the kids play because they play like ball in the little courtyard. So she loves seeing them run around doing this ball. So she'll like yell at me to let her outside. And she just like stays out there. And there's times where I'm like, it's time to come inside. And she's just like, she doesn't really meow. She just goes, and she like rolls around on the floor. She just does a tantrum on a good. It's bien vaga. You just want to be outside and like look at the other cats. 'Cause there's like stray cats every now and then.
Right, stray cats. Alley cats?
The boys.
The boys, yeah.
The boys, 'cause she's a girl.
God damn. All right.
That's
Cool.
a long conversation.
That was a really long conversation. Like a goddamn cat. Nah, it's cool, man. Let's go. We'll bring the cat next time. All right. Let's transition over to like your thing.
My thing.
The thing.
The thing that's a thing.
The thing that's a thing. So first of all, how did you start doing drag? How did you like? How old were you?
Like I said, I've known about drag because like my mom's had gay friends and she's had like drag queen friends, some transgendered friends, and they would do shows at the bars next to her bar. So they would always come home every now and then. So I knew about it, but I was not interested at the time. I was like telling my friends, why would boys want to put on makeup? That is just not cool. That's so weird. Even though I was like gay and they knew about it, they were like, oh, you didn't ever think about it? And I was just like, hell no, and da-da-da-da, fuck that. And it's just, I don't know. I don't think that's like a guy would look good and da-da-da. And then she would just be like, my friend at the time, Karina, was like, my sister watches RuPaul's Drag Race. And I was like, what is that? Is that a drag show? And she was like, yeah, like just watch it with her. And I went to, his house now because he's trans. So his house, and he was watching it, and I was just like, change this shit. I don't want to watch this anymore. And like, just watch the whole episode. It was just like, I was watching like 5 minutes of it, and I was like, fine, I'll watch the whole episode. Commercial hit, and then he was like, do you still want me to change it? I was like, no, I need to find out who goes home, like
right.
da da da. And then I graduated high school, and they were like, oh well, there's a club across the street from Havana's which is S4. And like they have amateur drag show competitions there, and you can be 18 and do it. So I was just like, with my ex at the time, I was like, we have to go check it out. So he's like, oh yeah, I've been there, because he was older than me. He's like, yeah, I've been there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, let's go. Took me there, and it was amateur night. And this queen that I had this past Sunday at the Trove, she was the first drag queen I've ever seen perform.
Oh.
Her name's Your Highness. Shout out to Your Highness.
Come through.
She inspired me. She was also just barely doing drag as well, but she was already doing it on stage. And I just like looked up at her and was like, how do I get up there? What do I need to do? And she was like, oh, just come here on Thursday, sign up by 10:30 and da da da. So I waited for the next Thursday, and I went to the mall. I went to go buy like some Forever 21 little girl short and like sparkly sequin bra and stuff, and was like, I'm gonna be the hottest girl there and da 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 da, and like perform. And the night comes, and I'm just like, nervous, shaking, sweating, just about to cry. I literally was like to a point where I was like, what did I get myself into? No, fuck this. I'm just gonna go home. But my I think I was on the side of the curtain, and then like one of my good friends now, but we weren't friends at the time. She was a drag queen. Was like, honey, is this your first time? And I was like, yeah, I'm so nervous. And she was like, just have fun, go out there. Plus, you're not gonna be able to see anybody's faces because there's a light shining at you. So just have fun with it. And I was just like, okay. She was like, and if you trip and fall, you trip and fall. It's okay. They'll love it even more and throw you money because they feel sorry for you. I was just like, yeah, okay, fuck it. Song plays, and it was like the best time of my life. And that's why I started Thursday nights, amateur nights at S4. And I did go every now and then because I like to. There's always new girls. There's always on Thursdays, obviously, because it's amateur night. Anyone can do it. Anyone can sign up. So and what's neat about that day, and it's called the Rising Star show, and at S4 the amateur show is called Rising Star.
Okay.
And they, like I said, they let anybody compete, and then at the like around August of each year, they grab all the girls that won each night, because it's a competition, to compete in a pageant for the title of Miss Rising Star. And they get to like open up the show the whole year coming of the reigning and stuff. So I thought it was pretty cool, and that's where I started. But I like to go back every now and then to see what the new girls need, what like I can do to help, because back then I was not allowed to do any, not allowed to do any, sorry. I wasn't like, no one guided me through anything. No one told me where to get like, oh, this is where you get shoes at, the makeup and stuff like that. So that's where I started doing drag. That's how I got into it.
How old were you?
I think I was like 19, 20 years old.
1920. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I did see you on your Instagram. You are Ms. Rising Star.
Miss Rising Star, yeah.
18.
2018.
2018.
Yeah, it took me three or four years to win.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Because what's really cool about it too is like some of those girls that have won that pageant ended up being on the RuPaul's Drag Race show. So there's like an amazing like legacy behind it too. So I was like, I need to be like up there and stuff like that. And it's a really cool special thing because like also it comes with perks. You get to skip the line at the club because it was just a really fun time for me. But I really, really wanted it. It took me 4 years because all the other bitches were so much more talented than me. But like I love the Mia Mulan. Like she was Miss Rising Star the year before I got crowned. Mm-hmm. And I've competed with her and I was so happy like to lose against her because she's really talented. And I told her, I was like, one day I'm going to win it. And next year she crowned me and it was really special because like we're best friends. So
is there ever like what's the word? Not bad blood, but like it's
cattiness.
Like, yeah, it's like man,
drama.
Yeah, like fuck this bitch. Because I've seen RuPaul. I've seen.
You see the show, right?
I discovered RuPaul. I want to say maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
My friends that I worked with, my coworkers.
Yeah.
They'd be like, hey, let's go to Woody's. We're gonna go watch
the Drag Race.
Was it Woody's? I think it was Woody's.
Mm-hmm.
No, JR. Sorry. JR's. We're gonna go to JR's to go watch the drag race RuPaul.
Oh, okay.
RuPaul to go see RuPaul, and I was like, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I'm down. Whatever.
I'm gonna go see.
I'm down for. I'm just down for a beer. Let's just go.
Yeah, let's just go.
Yeah, and which by the way, for those that don't know, RuPaul's it's like America's Next Top Model, but like it's with drag queens, and they do like their like a performance, like a music performance. It's like lip singing almost. Mm-hmm. What is lip sync? But like it's more theatrical, much more theatrical. It's
like acting. They make them sew sometimes, so it's like a fashion like.
Yeah, they have to come up with their own
pictures.
Yeah,
it's just like a lot of stuff.
It is. It's
really
a lot.
Fun.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And so yeah, I mean that's
how you knew about RuPaul.
That's how I knew about RuPaul. It's entertaining. And I was gonna ask you like for like your like because like the makeup is like it's intense. Like some of these like people, they like y'all's makeup is like so on point.
Oh, thank you.
No, but it's like the makeup and like the outfits. It's like it's so like it's unbelievable. Like I have my respects because like, and I wanted to ask you like what's it like? Like what if you have to use the restroom though? Like it's like all right, you're about to go on. Ruby, you're about to go on. Come on, like, hold on.
Okay.
What would he say? Like, I gotta take a piss. Let's say a piss.
Yeah,
I gotta take a piss.
Okay, well, I don't.
You can't?
No, I don't because, first of all, like, I don't know why. I just like think it adds like adrenaline to it or so because you're like I have to pee, but I just like like you're already like moving and stuff. So you're like when you go out there, you'll just move more fluid, I guess, in my mind.
Right.
And on top of that, it's just like you would have to go to the back, take your panties off and like, or pantyhose off. There's layers of them because like we wear like up to like 4 to like 6 pairs. God. So you take them off and then you have these like foam pads. Well, I don't know. Not a lot of queens do that. Like there's different methods, but like they have foam pads and you have to take those off, take your panties off and then whip it out and start peeing. And then you're like, fuck, they're calling me on stage. I'm supposed to be on. Like it just takes forever. So I'm just like, I'm not going to pee until the last show is over, like the last show. So like my bladder's obviously killing me. But
so it does happen though.
Yeah.
Like it's like.
Oh yeah, it happens every now and then. Though. I'm like, fuck, I drank too much. And I'm like, fuck, the tequila sunrise is making me want to go to the bathroom. But
yeah, just
hold it in.
Wow. Damn. All right. Yeah, dude, yeah, I'll get a refill. Would you like some more?
Did you drink all of it?
I drank. Yes. I need a little bit more. Are you still have some of yours?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I still have some.
Like halfway. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Are you refilling? All right.
Fill me up. Do you like drinking a lot?
Yeah.
I used to be an alcoholic.
Wait, like you actually like for real?
Like
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 every single
need
day.
help.
Like I need help.
like did you actually try to get help?
My mom
Wait,
started.
I don't think parents count. I think every parent's like
No,
they
hold
think their
on.
kids are like, you're drinking too
My
much.
mom,
Nico."
well, yeah, she started telling me that to a point where it was just like, you're not listening to me. You need to go to the doctor and like talk to the therapist and stuff. And yeah, and it was over a stupid heartbreak. But
All right, so
hold
cheers
on.
to that.
Cheers to that. Yeah.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Oh,
Which is
God.
funny. I saw them recently this weekend and I just looked and I was like, because
Drop his name.
I was like, Emmanuel.
I was kidding. I was all right, man. You were listening to this.
Yeah, Emmanuel, listen up. But yeah,
So yeah.
I had my mom take me to the therapist and got me together, and
Did it help?
it did, but I feel like I did it on my own. I mean, obviously, but
Fuck those doctors. Like what they know is like
no,
it was
but
me.
like, and I was also so I had a best friend who was straight, broke up with his girlfriend. We also used to be, I mean, like we grew up. My parents were actually next door neighbors, but we never really talked to each other in high school
Okay.
until he was dating my ex-best friend at the time. And then that's how we got close and knew about each other and started hanging out. And then eventually he became my roommate because I had an extra room. We had a 3-bedroom with my ex. So I was like, oh, I have an extra bedroom. He was like, oh yeah, I want to like move in, and then my girlfriend can just come and visit whenever she's not doing military stuff. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I broke up with my ex. He broke up with his ex. We went back to our parents' house, and then we were just like drinking every single day, and like,
Yeah.
so I got scared and was
Oh,
like, we
shit.
have to get our shit
Right.
together. And so he was like, I was having the most trouble with it. Was just like, we'll drink a little bit, and then the next day we'll drink less than that, and then and obviously that never works. It never does. And he was way better at it because he was like, I don't want to live like this anymore. So without him, I don't think I would be here.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Dang. Wow, that's a.
Yeah,
So but you actually went through the thing. That's awesome. That's
yeah, I went through it, and like, I mean, yeah, I did go to the therapy, but I feel like, yeah, him and I were like, fuck it, we're just not gonna drink anymore. We threw all the bottles away, and we're just being really good, and eventually snapped out of it.
Yeah, good for you. Cheers to
Cheers
that.
to that.
And we're drinking
As we're
today.
drinking. But my drinking
Good for
nowadays
you.
are
Good for
very
you.
controlled.
I'll
so.
drink to that. Let's drink to that. Salud.
Are you drinking?
He is drinking. Boy, why aren't you drinking?
Okay.
This is the worst engineer that we have.
No, as long as he's drinking.
Yeah, he's drinking. That's
Yeah.
good. All right, that's cool. That's all right. My next question I did want to ask you is idols. So you did talk about what was her name? Your Highness, Majesty, Your Highness.
Your Highness.
So she kind of like showed you a little bit, right? She was the first one that you.
Yeah, the first
Right.
queen I've ever seen perform.
So, but who were there any other idols or references whenever like a build like creating RubyDiamond? Like who did you use? Like it's like I'm gonna get a little bit of this from here and a little from that. You know, who are those for you?
Ooh, there's a lot.
Give me a good I guess 4 or 5.
4 or 5. Okay. Ooh. My mother for once.
Okay.
For once. Oh,
For
Lord.
one.
For one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know it's like very cliche, but no, she really is one of my inspirations because, again, she owned a bar and she would always dress up in these hoochie mama things, like corsets and like very booty shorts, short skirts,
Mm-hmm.
high heels, stilettos, whatever. So it was just like, I was like, I want to be like my mom. Like, she would put on the makeup and like make herself look really nice and like seduce men. So I was just like, I want to be like her, but like better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's like one of my inspirations. Another one of my inspirations is Dita Von Teese. I'm very into like vintage stuff too.
Who
like,
is that?
Dita Von Teese is like she's like the living vintage bombshell, like not bombshell, but like sexy goddess. She does burlesque. wears
Oh,
a
okay.
corset. She was married to, maybe you know her. Like she used to be married to Marilyn Manson.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
I did not
She's
know.
hot. She's like in her 40s still, and she's super hot. But she's known for burlesque, and she's like
Okay.
basically like the one. And another one currently is, I would have to say, my drag mother,
Who is she?
Alexis Davenport.
Alexis Davenport.
Yeah, she's at the Rose Room, by the way.
At the where?
At the Rose Room, you guys can catch her there every weekend.
Oh, is that on Cedar Springs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she is someone I look up to because she's like underestimated all the time. People love her as well. Like she's a very easy person to talk to, and at first people get the wrong idea about her, like, oh, she's just like this bitch, and like yeah, because she will let you have it. Like my first night I met her, she was like, oh my god, you look terrible, who did your makeup? And I was just like,
Damn.
so afraid to even stand next to her. But people would be like, do you know who that is? And I'm like, no, I'm scared of her. And they're like, that's Alexis. And I'm like, Alexis who? And they're like, well, she works here, but on top of that, she's like the mother of Kennedy Davenport, Zahara Davenport, and they've been on Drag Race, so like legends. And they're like, and she doesn't talk to just anyone, like making it seem like,
Oh my,
you know,
this
very,
is very
like that.
Mean Girls.
Yeah, very Mean Girls. And you would think that's like, oh, like, but that's how it is backstage. And they're just like, yeah, like, she doesn't really talk to just anyone. If she like likes you, she'll insult you. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to get close to someone, I guess.
Right.
But we grew this special bond, and I've always looked up to her because she's guided me in so many different ways, giving me so much great advice. And like till this day, I just look at her and I'm like, I want to be just like you when I grow up, because she's special. She's a slut too, but I
Hey,
love her.
Kylie.
Yeah.
Come through. Come through to etc.
Come
then.
through.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What? All right. So what about like as far as performances, like when you do your show?
Mhm.
Are there people that you look into as well, or would you say it's the same people that your idols?
No.
Would they be the same for like how you do your show, or like your performances?
Like who I
specific?
channel. in
Yeah,
her
who do
when
you channel? Like, is it like Janet Jackson or like Britney Spears?
No, I'm not your typical, oh, I'm like a Gaga giant super fan, or
Uh-huh.
Britney. Never was.
Who-
I
who-
love their music, and I have it in my playlist, but like I'm not like a super diehard fan of Gaga or like Britney Spears. I've never really been like that. I guess I channel a fictional character,
Oh God,
like a person that's not real.
Hinata.
No.
All right.
You've ever seen a movie called Sucker Punch?
Oh yeah.
Baby doll. It's like my favorite thing, even though you never see how she dances or anything, but she like captivates everyone.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, I gotta be like that one bitch that's like, you know, like captivating and grabbing everyone's attention. But I don't really channel like an inner diva, like I'm gonna do my Britney hair flips or like my Beyonce in the fan. I mean, I would love to, and I do it sometimes, but I just like think I'm like just a fictional character. Like I think of myself like as a lucid imagination, illusion, dream, somewhere in there. Yeah, but I'm real, obviously.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What all right, now answer me this. What's the describe to me like what can actually go wrong when you're doing a show? What has happened to you? What has
happened to me personally?
Yeah, or like to one of your queens while y'all are on your shows.
Oof.
Or something that you've witnessed. Have you seen anything like just like damn like
I've witnessed so much, but I've had so many things gone wrong
for you?
For me.
Okay. Like
that I mean, recently, thank God, nothing has happened or anything like that. But I've had moments where when first starting out, I'm a very clumsy person. Don't have a bunch of glasses near me because I will figure out a way to break them. Even if it's across the room from me, I'll figure out how to break it.
Okay. All right.
But
Let's move this.
yeah, let's move that.
Good
Thank
thing
God
the
you have
setup, the setup's over there, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, earlier I tapped this thing. But I just, I would trip a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and one time, okay, so I got...
Turn it up, boys.
There was this old drag trick, and it's like an old school thing where you would grab the hairspray, the drag hairspray, and spray it on your face, on top of your makeup, and they would say, "Oh, it doesn't go anywhere. It'll stay right there because it freezes on your face. So even if you sweat," and I'm a person that like sweats a lot, so they're like, "It's not gonna go anywhere. You're just gonna be like stamped and like beautiful." And I was like,
say less.
Okay, well, one day I was talking to a friend and I was like, oh yeah, and they're like, "Girl, stop it." And I was like, what? And they're like, "You grabbed the wrong bottle." And I was like, and it was oil sheen.
Whoa.
Do you know what that is?
No.
Okay.
Oh no.
So you're like, whoa.
What is that?
Okay, so oil sheen is like meant to be put on hair
For
to make it look sleeker, shinier. It's made out of, it's like oily.
Okay.
It's like an oily
it's
liquid.
like almost like cooking spray.
Yeah, like but the butter, basically. Like the butter spray or whatever.
You didn't taste it? Like
No, I didn't taste it, but they were like, "Stop it. Like, don't spray yourself." And then like I put it down. They're like, "What's going to happen? What's wrong?" And they're like, "That takes off your makeup like nothing." So, and you're very oily on your face. And you're like, and you're next. And I was like, "So what do I do?" And they're like, "Hope for the best at this point because it's like starting to come off already." And I was like, well, I'm fucked. There's nothing I can do about it. So fuck it. I go out on stage and then
two-faced motherfucker.
Basically, but by the end of my number, people are like, "Girl, when you walked out here, it looked like you just went to the gym. Like you were sweating. Or what was on your face? Or was it highlighter or something?" And I was like, "So I got the bottles mixed up of hairspray and oil sheen, and I sprayed oil sheen, and everyone was laughing at me. So that was like a joke for a while. They'd be like, label your sprays or watch out the lids because sometimes you flip them. Or it was just so funny. But I've seen it all. I've seen queens lose wigs. I've never lost a wig.
Is that like the biggest embarrassment that can happen?
For me personally, I feel like it's like it destroys the illusion.
It's for sure. I mean, yeah. Kind of.
So I've never, thank God, this isn't wood.
This isn't wood. The sheetrock, it counts.
Oh, fuck,
it doesn't
right?
count. It doesn't count. No.
Oh wait, the chair. No.
I think the leg maybe. Anyways, okay, hang on. So it's never happened, but you've seen it
plenty of times.
It happens.
It happens.
So would that be like the worst thing that could possibly happen to you during your show, or
that,
or ripped clothes, ripped
or
pants?
Yeah. Like,
has a penis ever come out? I'm curious. From anyone, and like as like, dude, is like.
I've seen a couple balls try to slip out, but never like flip out.
Oh really?
Or
okay.
a penis ever like flip out, but like there are times where sometimes you're like, oh, I can see it. Like, I can see the little
okay,
like.
we see.
I'm like, is that bubble gum? Like, we call it the bubble gums because the gum balls.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I can see your bubble gum. So.
Right.
But yeah, I've never seen a full on
never
penis
actually
just pop out.
So what happens? Because I've seen some of these outfits are really tight. I'm getting very personal now. So what happens if you get an erection though?
Well, it would
because
first of all hurt.
I've heard that some people do like the tuck. You tuck it in.
Yeah, you tuck it in.
Yeah. So like, what happens if you get an erection?
I mean, you're gonna have to settle for the pain. I mean, it can happen
because it's tight. Like because all the layers that you have.
Right. But it doesn't really happen as much as you think it would, unless you're like probably like super horny or attracted to a person.
Your date got there. Let's say your date got there and it's like.
No, I've never really had like. One of those moments where you're just like, yeah, it's never happened to me personally. So
well, boy, if you're listening to this, you know this will be her first. You could be her first, preferably not the Trove, please.
No,
Havana's. I think Havana's is the right spot.
Yeah. Well, like me as a trans woman, like I've had like trans women friends that are like, girl, I cannot contain myself around him, and I just got a little, and I'm
It
like,
happens.
it happens, but it's never happened to me, thank God. So first of all, yeah, knock on something. That's wood. But yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. What about let's say, what about when the audience isn't feeling the performance? How do you handle that?
I'm pissed.
Like, so what's an indicator? Like if you're dancing, if you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
Oh, because you right. Like hang on. So like you perform, but also you're like a host. Like you're speaking.
Mm-hmm.
You're bringing them in and out like the next performance.
Right.
And you host the games.
Yes.
Right.
And I stall every now and then.
Right. And
queens
stall.
that are still
Right.
hiding the bubble gum.
So like let's say someone that's so let's say like they're not laughing at the jokes. Like so obviously that's a huge indicator. Is like, all right, no one's laughing when I'm saying shit, right?
Right.
What do you do? Like how do you handle it? Or like do you say something even more? Try to like fuck yeah, why aren't y'all laughing, bitches? Like that's supposed to be funny. Or like what's your thing?
Every now and then I'm like, okay, I guess you guys weren't feeling that one. So, but like, but it doesn't really happen to me as much as I would think. Like, I've never really hosted any kind of show, never been on a mic before I got brought into Tiny Victories.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to Tiny Victories.
Yeah, I didn't know they do it there.
Yeah, they were in the mix before I started doing it at the Trove, and also Havana's. They were the first two bars, the Tiny Victories and Havana's, who they're like, you should try being on the mic and stuff. And I was just like, I've never done it, but I talk a lot, so let's just do it. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And I did it, and it was so much fun for me. It's just so easy for me to talk to people, but when I come up with a joke and it's not landing, or people are just staring at me, I'm just like, okay, well, I'm gonna make fun of this person to take off the attention off of me. So I go up to a different person, or I ask a question of like,
is this your date?
Is this your date? Is this your boyfriend? Or, oh, like, are you from out of town? I just try to just take the attention off of me.
Of the horrible joke that didn't get delivered.
Yeah, but I'm a really funny person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That's actually, that's something that I was going to tell you that like, one of the reasons why I really enjoy, I've seen like maybe 4 of your shows.
Just 4?
I don't go out as much. That's
you haven't been to the show recently, I've noticed.
I haven't. I'm sorry. I've been busy.
Interesting. I heard you were at Roundup not too long ago.
I was at Roundup not too long ago. Shout out. No.
Shout out to Roundup.
Yeah. No. I mean, sorry. Dang, you got me.
I got you.
No, but I haven't been to many drag shows. You're the only drag show I've been to this year, if that counts.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like 4 or 5 times now.
I feel special.
Yeah, no. So, but one of the reasons why I really enjoy it is because you're funny. You are funny. You're like you're the jokes you crack, and you're like a what is it like like in the like with rappers they have like a hype man. The guy's like kind of like like getting people hyped up, right? And it's like I feel like that's like. You have that, and I don't think that's easy. Like I feel like you do have that, of getting people like more like really into it, like creating like ambiente of like good vibes, like so people enjoy the show. That's what I really like about you, and other friends have told me the exact same thing that when we come out here to see your show, and it's like, man, she's really good, like she's funny. And I was like, yeah, no, she's really you're very, very talented.
Thank you. Keep going.
But yeah, no. So like, what's damn, I lost my train of thought. I was kind of like blushing as I was saying all these things. So all right. So what made you start your own show? Like I was like, I'm gonna do like it's gonna be my show.
It's gonna be my show.
Exactly.
I'm gonna run things.
Business mindset.
Right. Well. It wasn't really planned for. I'd never expected to be a host ever. I thought it was going to be like, oh, I'm going to be a host like 15, 20 years down this drag career if I'm still doing it. And when it happened, it was very unexpected because the host was Shout out to Nikki Lauren. Sorry, I'm already like feeling the alcohol.
Nikki Lawrence.
Nikki Lauren in
Lauren.
Havana. And she was the queen booking me outside of S4 from amateur nights. And she was like, I love you. Your outfits, personality is really good. I'm going to have you in my show. And it was just me being in her show. So one day she just came to me and was like, she just did her number. And she was like, sat next to me. She was like, girl, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. I'm at that age where I'm just like at different bars all the time. And like, I want to just settle down to one and da-da-da. And this is one of the bars where I'm just like, I'm ready to like kind of slowly let go and start going into that placement that I want to be in. So are you prepared to be on the mic? Have you ever done it? Do you think about it? And I was just like, I've never done it. I do think about it. And why? What are you asking me exactly? She was like, do you want the show? And I was like, you're joking. And she was like, no, like, do you want the show? I'll talk to them right now, the managers, and see if they would consider you as a host. And I was like, oh my God, you're joking. Like, I still thought it was a joke. She was like, no, yeah. And I was like, fuck yeah. And like, it just happened. And it's like my favorite thing in the world. Like I said, I love to talk. I'll over talk. And it just came so naturally to me. And I don't mean to sound cocky, but like, I'm just like,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. I just love talking to people.
Yeah.
I really do. Even though, which is kind of weird and funny and ironic, is that I am a very anxious person. Like, very anxious. And I'm like, oh, fuck, what are they going to think about me? And what am I going to, oh, shit, like, how do I look? And stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I guess that's where I hide that insecurity from, and that anxiousness is by this confident, like, let me take off the distraction from me, and like, I'm gonna talk about you and just converse with you. But yeah, that's how I got into hosting.
How old were you
when I first started hosting?
Was this before pandemic or?
Oh yeah, this was like when I was like 22, 23.
Oh, okay.
So I just started doing it there, and then it progressed to a bingo show at Tiny Victories. And then Tiny Victories loved the show, and then obviously it was going really good for a while, and then COVID happened. So they had to close down, they let go of the show, and then, you know, it was
they took a while to open up again.
Yeah, they took
because it's
a while.
It's a club thing.
And it's like a smaller place, so it's like more easier to contract the virus at the time and stuff like that. So I was not working at S4 either during quarantine, so I was very nervous about what was going to happen. I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to go back to the, I mean, I still had a job, but I was just like, fuck, like, I have to go full time and stuff like that. But then I got laid off of work. So, you know, like, just like everyone, I was like worried about it. And then when everything started to slowly get back to normal, Trove messaged me and was like, we're looking for a host. And Tiny Victories, like, it's not their fault, but like, they were like, can't have shows right now. We're just waiting on to see what's next for us. And so the Trove was ready for the opening, and they were like, we need a host. Are you interested? And had a meeting with them, fell in love with the venue. It's gorgeous. And I was just like,
shout out to the Trove.
I love you guys. And yeah, it's been perfect ever since then. My life's changed because of the Trove. And it's so cliche to say that,
awesome.
but it's my full-time job now.
Yeah, no, TJ and Jaime are really cool people.
They're the best.
They're really cool people.
They make me feel like a queen.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I know they love you a lot. Like yeah, we've talked about you a few times.
Oh, good things, I hope.
We talk shit too. No, I'm kidding. No, we don't talk shit. It's only good things.
Sometimes I have my days.
Well,
so.
No, only good things. Only good things. But wow. So, going back to the performances though, I did want to. How would you say, what makes your show different from the other drags?
I feel like what makes my shows different from other shows is...
Other than you, obviously, because, I mean, obviously you're really cool.
Yeah, obviously.
You're really cool. You're funny, yeah.
Is the intimacy. I feel like I'm much more intimate with the show and with people versus other shows. I'm not like, I mean, yes, I do follow the typical protocol of like, I gotta bring out this next girl and then play a game and then bring out the next girl and then obviously crack a few jokes here and there. But I also like I said, love talking to people. I like to make it feel very homey, very like I know you just met me, but I want to feel like we've known each other and you could just like tell me anything.
Keep talking to me.
Yeah, just keep talking to me and like slowly seducing them, I guess, but not in a sexual way, but like, you know,
whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And making them feel very welcomed. And I've gotten so many comments on that. They're like, oh, your show is like, it was very interactive. You got me involved in it. And like, it's different because most shows are just like, welcome to the show. All right, bring into the stage next entertainer. And it's not very like you made like me feel noticed and make me feel special too. And you included me in your show, which is a very cool experience. So I feel like it's the intimacy of my show that makes me stand out.
How different would you say is like doing a show here in Bishop Arts that's not a gay community area compared to like Cedar Springs where you have your other show, and that's the gay strip.
Yeah, the gay strip.
That's what they call it. So how different is it as far as like? Because I think most people like I would say most of your audience here at the Trove, they're all heterosexual, right?
Yes.
So like what's it? How does it feel for you? Like as far as energy wise, whenever you are gonna perform, it's like, oh shit, like is it more nerve wracking here than it is over there?
I feel like I enjoy it a lot more than my community.
Really? With heterosexuals?
And okay, so like it's kind of funny and weird, but I feel like straight people, heterosexual people, like especially ones that've never seen a show or a drag queen before, being presented right before them, it's like seeing a unicorn.
It is a unicorn.
Yeah, it's like something magical. It's like, fuck, what is that?
Is it real?
Is it real? Is it what's going on? Like you're intrigued, you're curious about it. And for me, like when I watched the show, it was just like also like it made me more open-minded and be like, oh, it's just an art form. It's about being creative and expressing yourself. And I feel like straight people value it more and take it in more than gay people, because gay people
are used to it.
Yeah. And as much as I love them, I love you guys, they, like when I look at my shows at Havana's, which is on Cedar Springs, on the gay strip, majority are gay or lesbian or queer. And most of them are regulars and they've seen the shows, and yes, it's exciting for them. Yes, they're supportive, but it's not as exciting as somebody that's never seen it, never experienced it. So when I get to the straight bars, I feel like they appreciate it more. They go crazy, they scream more, they tip more. And it's just like they want to know more. And then eventually you find them coming to another show and then another show and another show. Yeah. So it's very special. I just enjoy straight people more. Wow. Even though they're crazy and wild as much as we are, it's kind of funny. We're just like, you know, some people will be like, oh, gay people are so like crazy and like with their yes and the yes gods and like the tongue pops and stuff like that. But not everyone's like that. And we're like, we can say like heterosexual people are just as crazy too, because like we get stories and we're like, yes, queen, and and we're like, we don't really say that, but okay, like yeah. So it's pretty fun. Like I love the experiences and like memories we get to share with straight people here at the Trove. Like yesterday was a really fun one.
What was Labor Day? Y'all were
oh wait, no, Sunday. Sorry, Sunday was a really fun one. One of my girls was talking to me just casually, and we're like talking about something. She was twirling her tuck it up thong, and she just like was talking so much and flinged, and like there was like a restroom line next to the dressing room wall. And it just flew over it, and you just hear whoa, and like it hit somebody on the head, and we just like peeked through, and we're like, so sorry, and we were just like like giggling, and we're like, sorry, that's mine, and we just like pulled it in, and it's just so funny. And then there was just like, oh no, it's fine, like I've never been to a show, so thank you for that. And I'm just like,
yeah,
sorry you got to experience that of a drag show, but it's funny.
Okay, damn. That's funny. That's good though. All right, just to kind of like, we're getting close to wrapping up. I promise. We'll let you.
I'm having fun. It's okay.
Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I wasn't thinking about the time or anything.
Yeah, me too. I kind of started losing it. But all right, let me ask you this: how do you handle hate? Because I'm sure like there's a bunch of like, I was like, man, fuck that bitch, or like fuck Ruby, like fuck her show. How do you handle that? Do you actually pay attention to it? Like, And this is like advice that you're giving to like in general for like whatever craft that you work on, you know, there's always gonna be hate.
Always.
And I feel like with drags, like there's probably more hate.
Oh
like
yeah.
there's a lot of like
It's very like
rare. Yeah. So like, how do you handle it?
Ugh. Okay, so I try to avoid it as much as possible. Like I try to. Well, when it comes to online hate and like community hate is like, I feel like kind of the same thing, but it's not, because you don't really know who's online and you don't really know them,
who that person is.
Yeah,
right?
who that person is. But online, I try to avoid it as much as possible. But every now and then, I'm like, my daughters will come and be like, "Girl, did you see what they posted on your da 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 da?" And like, will tell me, and I'm like, oh, "Great, thanks for telling me." Like now I have to like think about that negative comment, but I try to shut it out. When it comes to the community, it does hurt a little bit more because you would expect those people to respect what you do sometimes, or even support what you do, because it's not easy. Drag is not easy. It's not cheap, and it's something we take serious. So whenever we see someone that's just like at a show on their phone, it's like, ooh, why are you here? And it's just like, yeah, it's just very, or when you hear, oh, her wig, did you see her wig? And I'm just like, I mean, like, I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You don't have to drink it, but it's there. It's available for you if you want it. But my mom's told me something really special that's stuck with me. And it's like, she's told me, like, no matter what you do, say, or even breathe, and people notice, they're going to talk good or bad about you. So whatever, it doesn't matter. Just be yourself. Have fun with it. They don't pay your bills at the end of the day as well. And they're not people that you want to keep around anyways.
Right.
So, and that's true. Like, why would you be walking into a place where you're not welcomed and stuff? So I feel like when it's my community giving me those negative comments, it hurts a little bit more, but it also fires me to do better.
Right. It's like, all right, bitch,
like,
I'm proving you wrong right now.
It happens all the time. Like, I've had people tell me I'm not going to make it anywhere. I'm not going to have my own show, or I was just like a pretty face and not talented and stuff like that. And I mean, it's whatever. That's their opinions. But I was just like pissed about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to work on my number. I'm going to get my outfit together and I'm going to show them. And then luckily now I just get to be my own show entertainer / like show coordinator and be my own boss, basically, which is amazing.
Yeah. It really is. Damn, I was gonna ask you about relationships. What's it like having? Is it easy having a relationship like in this industry?
No, it doesn't.
Jealousy,
but not really of like, she's with the hottest guy, or like, like I want to be with him. It's jealousy of like,
a bunch of dicks just getting thrown at you.
Huh?
Not like it's like you get a bunch of dicks thrown at you. It's like,
it's not. Yeah, it's.
I mean, you probably do, but it's just like
you get the wrong dicks thrown at you.
Oh, the wrong one's like, no.
Yeah, it's okay. You would think
maybe
like,
one that has a little bit more money than this guy. Or like,
I mean, like, I don't just be like, oh, this person has money. I mean, like,
it's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. What are we not?
I'm not gonna say no, but I'm not gonna be like, who has money?
Right? No.
But when it comes to dating in this industry and this career like path, it doesn't really. Love is very special and unique as it is. So when it comes to the jealousy I was talking about, it's like, she has a boyfriend. I want what they have. Like, I wish I could find someone that accepts me for not only just being myself and me, but to accept that I'm doing this as an art form.
Yeah.
You know, they're not seeing it. I mean, my mom thought when she first came to my drag show, she thought I was a prostitute.
What?
Yes, because they would line us up for the voting, and then the people would cheer. But she doesn't know English.
Oh,
so
okay.
she was like, "Are they auctioning you guys off? Are you gonna go home with the highest? What? Like, why did they give you guys money?
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
do you have to do something for it?"
That's exactly what's going on.
Okay.
That's exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. But yeah, it's just you get jealous because you're like, oh, they're in a relationship. I want someone to respect what I do and be okay with it, and not have that come in between our relationship and our love and stuff like that. But yeah, you get the wrong dicks thrown at you sometimes. Sometimes you'll get like the guys that will just notice a queen and just, can I take you home? Where are you going after this? Where's the party? What's your name? And then you're just like, either you're interested or you're
Ruby.
not. But it's most of the time it's like creepy old or like very just like coming by the truck as you're walking to your car and they're just like following you. There's this one tow truck person who like tows cars that will just like drive around the strip like and just try to see who they can take home, and it's very scary. But
like take their car home or like take
no,
take a
like
person home.
Well, first of all, they're like follow you and they're like, hey, you know, like that, like type thing.
Okay.
Like get in the truck and stuff, and you're just like, oh. First of all, I get scared. I just start like, I literally show them my switchblade or like my little like pepper spray. I'm like, I'm ready. Like if you're gonna lunge at me like that, but
make my day.
Dating is really hard because people like us, especially, well, I'm like a transgender woman, and on top of that, I mean, being trans is who I am, but drag is what I do.
Right.
Sometimes telling that to a straight guy, they're like, well, just doesn't that just make you like a trans woman? Or like, you know, they just like, they don't really get it sometimes, or they're just not accepting of me personally being who I am in public. It's always like closed doors and very secretive and stuff like that. So I don't get too many gentlemen that will try to like take me on a date versus like, I can tell you, there's just plenty of men that will come up to me and be like, all right, let's fuck. And I'm like,
okay.
Hi, what's your name? First of all, like,
first get the name. All right, I'm sorry.
Get the name.
Okay,
I mean,
okay. Damn, I'm easy.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'm
a little dirty, so like I guess I want them to say my name whenever they're fucking me or something.
Okay, you see that makes sense. You see, like it's like no.
But no, it's very hard to date during, so I don't have a boyfriend. Plus, on top of that, as much as I would like a relationship, every now and then I'm just like, I feel like it wouldn't be fair for them.
Really?
Yeah, because I work the weekends and most people like to go out on weekends. So I'm booked Friday through Sunday.
Yeah.
Every now and then I do Thursdays. So my time, and I do this full time, so sometimes Monday through, but they have their own personal life too. And on top of that, I'm so committed into what I do, and I put so much energy into it that I feel like it would be unfair for them because I'm not there doing whatever.
That speaks a lot about you, though.
Really?
That's good. That's nice. That's really nice. Well, but
I guess that's why I'm single.
If anyone's trying to shoot their shot, it's like, well, now you know why it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, like,
not right
like
now,
I said, like,
probably,
I'm not opposed to. I mean, whatever happens, and everyone usually says, "Oh, I'm just going with the flow." But yeah, like if it happens, it happens. But I just feel like they would have to, like, first of all, buckle up.
Right.
This is not just some regular pavement you're gonna be driving on. It's like, it's a little bumpy, but buckle up and just know that this is what I love to do. I eventually like want to have my own place, like business, bar, maybe travel, like doing shows. So as long as they're okay with it, then I'd be the perfect person. But
that kind of just takes me to our final discussion of what's how important do you think it is to have a plan, or like to have some sort of structure in your life, as far as like let's say right now, for example, if I ask you like what's the goal for the next 5 to 10 years? What would Ruby be doing in 5 to 10 years?
Old Ruby. So being in my 30s is old.
I didn't say old. I'm just saying like in 5 to 10 years from now, like how, like what are you trying to accomplish? What will be
I think I want, or I hope to accomplish, being, first of all, in a house. I really want a house so I can get a dog. But I just really want to be able to not only transform myself, obviously, to the person that I really, really want to be, but I also want to, like I said, open my own business. I want to have my own show bar. Yes, I want to have my own little unique home where I can just bring all my misfits in, and like showgirls and trans women and drag queens that are obviously super talented but don't have places to go to perform. And I really want to create something special there and make it feel more intimate and very very like right now it's all about social media and stuff like that. So I want to create like a place where people can just go and post things and feel safe and experience.
Right.
You know, like something that's not something that's like super out there versus like, you know, like your typical like club, like Ecstasy or something that's like a strip club that everyone knows about and goes to. Like I just want to like create something that you can like go catch and feel safe and have like a very fond memory of. So yeah, I want my own business.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll definitely be inviting you back to so you can check in on how we're doing and give us the new update on your life. I really enjoyed this conversation. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought I was gonna be
like I was talking forever.
That was good. No, you weren't. I honestly thought because I was practicing like yesterday. I was going over my notes. I was like, all right, I got it. I'm just be straightforward. I'm just gonna ask her this, you know, like. But my invoice is in Spanish.
Okay.
So I'm writing in Spanish, but the podcast mostly is like in English. I will have some Spanish episodes, but I'm trying to translate it in English. But I was like practice and rehearse it like out loud. All right, how am I gonna tell her this, whatever. But then you kind of like you made it so easy because you were just like tell me, like, you know, when you started talking about like, you know, well you have your dad around, so you don't really know what that was like if you were to come out to him. So you kind of just like walked me through. I was like, oh god, this is so much easier. Especially because I've never actually done this before, you know. So it's like I'm learning too, you know. I'm learning. But you're an awesome guest.
Thank you. I had fun.
Yeah.
I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I was like, I've never done this. You know, everyone's like, be careful what you say sometimes. And I'm just like,
fuck it.
Yeah. I'm just like, there's no filter.
Yeah.
So
I had I showed a few friends like a few weeks ago, like dude, like this, like I'm trying to get this girl to come on, and then they're like, oh my god, dude, she's hot. I'm like, yeah, dude, like look at her, like she's gonna come on, like dude, she has a show over here at the Trove.
Yeah.
And then they're like, is she gonna like dress up like all like was she like on her thing, like on her show? And I'm like, dude, that'd be fucking wild. I don't think so. I was like, I didn't know. Should I tell her like, hey, you know, like it's a video, it's like podcast. Like I don't know if you want to dress up, but it
was my strategy. That way you can have me back.
Yeah.
So you'd be like, what is she gonna wear?
What is she gonna wear?
I promise I'll wear something very more
like
extravagant, showgirl, very glamorous.
No, this is great. You look great.
Thanks.
But I think that's about it. We've reached that time. Thank you so much for coming on.
Anytime. Thank you so much for having me here. I had a blast.
We're definitely gonna invite you back. I think something that I want to do. It's I actually want to get a few like drags, like a little group, maybe like 4 of them.
You have me and my daughters.
You and your daughters, and then like I think we talked about this before, like having like a little like maybe even have like a game show or something, or just talk or like play like Yo Nunca Nunca or like Never Have I Ever.
That's what I thought we were doing today. But
no, we're not.
I was like, fuck, what is he gonna ask me? Like, I mean, I'm an open book, but I was just like, yeah, it'd be fun to.
I think that's something that we'll probably do next time
in the future. So stay tuned.
In the future, so stay tuned. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Do you have anything?
No, like I said, thank you so much for having me here. I really had a blast with you guys. This was definitely something I really wanted to try, even though I was a little nervous about it, but it was really fun. Like I love talking again, and you're really awesome, and you're easy to talk to.
Oh, thank you. How much do I owe you?
$1,000. No, just kidding.
All right, how can we find you on social media?
You guys can follow me at RubyDiamond on Instagram, and I don't really have any other social media besides Twitter. And at Twitter, you guys can follow me at Ruby La Pendeja.
Ruby La Pendeja.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I'll follow you on this is Twitter, right?
This is Twitter, yeah.
Okay.
Twitter.
Alrighty then. Well, guys, thank you. Israel, thank you.
Thank you so much, tech team.
Alright, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next one. Alright, salud.
Salud. Cheers.
That was good.
That was really fun.
That was fun. It was good. You did really good.
What do I press? I don't want to mess it up.
Oh, man. How do you feel?
I'm tipsy.
You tipsy?
Yeah.
Nice.
I had 3 of these.
I feel like we should get drunk though.